I mean, we made, my girlfriend and I, at that time, we made a big mistake. We actually thought we were going to be lonely. And we asked for friends of ours, come and stay with us. Come and stay with us.
Wait, when you were in Greece?
Yeah, we were in Greece for this long period of time. And that was good and bad, because what happened was that we began to create a relationship with local people, and then the second these foreigners arrived, they felt like jealous, or, oh, well, you're not interested in us anymore, you're interested in your friends, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So basically, that whole interrelationship, living a kind of with an islander, is somewhat false.
Mm-hmm.
It could have never survived a year. It could not have survived a year. And people began to mistrust why you were there.
Mm-hmm.
You're there, and it's not good enough just to say I'm here because I like it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it could, though. Maybe it is.
Maybe. I mean, I'm completely, on my wall up there, the camera can't see, is my eldest daughter in Tibet.
Yeah.
And those are prayer flags.
Okay.
Which are flapping in the breeze. And I have traveled in Japan and in China, always looking for the non-Western expression, the local expression. To go to China or to go to Japan, for example, and stay in a ryokan, which is a local inn with tatami mats and with rice paper walls and communal bathing and stuff like that. And you go, why? And it's actually much more rewarding than staying in a first-class hotel. Which is
what about it makes the experience richer? What do you get out of that?
I think you get out of it because you realize how subtle humanity is. Even though you could probably bake everything back to 5 or 6 main points, there are levels of subtlety within virtually everything.
Right.
How we speak to each other.
Yeah.
How the food that we eat and what it means.
Seeing other things can help you figure out how to make your own thing better also, because when you're unexposed to something, if you're to change something, it needs to come from your imagination.
Absolutely.
But the more exposure you have, the more you can imagine, and the more you can even replicate from what else you've seen.
No, I think that's absolutely true. That is true.
And it gives a sense of freedom too, because your life doesn't need to be exactly one way.
No, there is no correct way. I think all of us adapt to, as I said, to the environment, which is where we came in on this conversation, is that you live in an environment, maybe of your own choice, if you're lucky, and if you live in that environment and you are free to do whatever you think you can do, then you are going to adapt. I mean, Nikki and I, my wife, crossed America from Florida to California. And we didn't do it by walking, we did it by driving, but we spent significant hours stopping off at places that seemed to be meaningful to us.
Yeah.
And they went all the way back to places like Mesa Verde.
Where's that?
In Colorado.
Okay.
And Mesa Verde, where these basically virtually Neolithic people were living, actually even until 800 or 900 AD, living under huge caves.
Wow.
And one of the things that is sort of shocking in a way is to realize that we're all newcomers. In this country, we are all newcomers. And yet here is massive evidence of people who have lived thousands of years in North America.
Right.
Okay, genetically, we know where they came from. And you can get very sad when you look at, say, Indians, the tribal Indians, doesn't matter which tribe, and they're living in these beautiful places, and they're living in these awful shacks and shanty towns. They have no real work, they're all drinking like crazy, and they've inherited all the worst things of the white man. They are no longer free. They originally rode the plains.
Right.
They originally lived off the buffalo. They originally had this amazing system of language and symbols, and all of that's gone. And it's just falsely preserved now in Indian encampments. And so I'm very conscious of that and feel very sad. And that's the negative side of white man's expansion.
Chris, thanks for sharing all your experiences from your life, about your work, your observations on the world, your travels. It's been amazing to talk to you about this in this conversation.
I really enjoyed it myself, and I wish you very much the best for all of your endeavors.
Thank you, and I hope that anybody who's watching, you get another slice of life with Chris, and he's had a very varied life and going everywhere, and there's so much to learn from him. And
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.